folks, and welcome back. I was struggling for some codes, or I say struggling, I have a lot of code to put out there, but a lot of it is sort of parts of this, parts of that, and you know, it would be quite a bitty coding session. However, in the last 24 hours, I've managed to uncode some of the greatest biblical mysteries of all time. And even I am gobsmacked, in truth, that I've even done this, because I'll get on with it, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Right, the first one, which I sort of put a plan together for all this, and it's sort of gone out the window a little bit. In fact, firstly I'm going to do, and this is not the big one, but this again, like I say, this was big until this other one came along, just to put it in perspective. But last time, going back to the coding of Sodom and Gomorrah, that obviously I made the Lance of Lot with it at the time without thinking of it, but Bristol was B. Sir Lancelot, and obviously the missing lepers made a lance eye or lance, one of the two, but obviously it was at the end and the tip of the spear. However, within 24 hours, 48 at the most hours after that, it just, I don't know where, like I said, I know where it comes from, but difficult to explain in humanly terms. But I got this. In Wales, obviously I showed you that Sodom exists. That's up in North Wales. Okay. But there's also a place called, in fact there's 3 of them or 4 of them in Wales, just making sure that I see it, but you pick either one. But Horeb. Both these places are actually mentioned in the Old Testament. Now the third place, which isn't mentioned in the Old Testament, but again this is just showing the transition of time, that this is all planned from beginning to end, whatever. But the third place in this code is Mega. Now, as I showed you, that makes up the Sodom and Gomorrah. Well, within this is actually the confirmation of the whole thing, because this actually says B, obviously Sodom, Sodom, G, actually let's give that a bit of space, I need a bigger board, I think. G-O-M, O, double R, R-A-H. So written in the land of Wales, in places, gives you this message: be Sodom, Gomorrah. And if you go onto Google Maps and just type Sodom in, you'll find Sodom. You'll also find Horeb, or there's 3 different ones, I think, but Horeb is clearly there. Whether it's the Horeb is mentioned many times actually. Top of the A as well. Sorry, there it is. And basically, so you also have the message: be Sodom and Gomorrah. I also noted as well, and this again, the spear that forms, that gives you with the area along the flatlands of South Wales, starts off on Bardsey Island. Well, again, I was given this, and please don't be offended if you live in this. Well, I live there, or as near as damn it, and the place is beautiful now. But this is also obviously this is referring to the time when obviously this happened. Sorry, I've actually missed there, because it's basically yes. There's the YES, land is BAD. Yes, our land is bad. Obviously, is pointing to the land of Sodom at the time, not now. At the time of Sodom and Gomorrah as well. So as well as this being yes bad, as telling the tale of what happened on the island, I guess. Obviously, you've also got this encoded in it as well. Just quickly, also notable. Is the place called Nash, when he talks of Nash, this is not far from Pilgwenley, or one of the Pils, the pilgrimage. Nash, obviously put a G on there, and you've got the gnashing, and then you've got the river mouth. So it's gnashing of the teeth in the mouth of the river. This is basically where they're all trying to escape. There's also a place called Gold Cliff, right in exactly where it would be, with no cliff in it, which I thought was quite comical, because obviously pointing out that there's an old G cliff, but there's no cliff there now. There's also a place called Summer Leaves. A Z is crossed out, so it's Summer Leave. This has happened in the summer, and this is also why you get Somerset. Somerset is not spelled summer, because it's also a Rome's set, because there's a message to Rome as well within the land, which again I'll come to again, but ultimately it all makes sense. I've been pushed to point out as well, right, there's, right, right, got the place called Undy, and it's Und. Well, the answer to that is under, and the answer to that is neath, underneath. This is neath, and we've got Port Talbot. Before I get there, I need to point out that Newport is the original Newport, because it is a new port with over 2,000 years of trading history. The question is, what happened to the old port? Okay, well, the old port obviously was destroyed as part of Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay, so this is the reason for the new port. It's also noticeable that there's an Alexander dock. Alexander. Not Andrea, because I don't know why, but I'm being guided that this is the original, this is the Ra influence, and this became Port Alexander. This is the original Port Alexandria, that the Egyptian one has sort of been mimicked, for want of a better word, as all the places in Egypt, and obviously taking away to hide in biblical Egypt and creating the new Egypt, and the false Egypt. Okay, right, coming back, Alexander, all ex-lander as well. There we go. Right, neath Port Talbot. So under, right, okay, so we've got underneath. Port Talbot is port to bolt, as well as port to bolt for the anchor as well. But this is right. Okay, so the port to bolt. Well, where was the port to bolt? Underneath. Well, the port to bolt, if you go down and go across, you come to, incredibly, the amazingly named Port Isaac. And this is where the Cassi, the fifth tribe, the tribe of Issachar, ended up porting, and this is how the Israelites, or Israels, the sub-tribe of the Israels being the Cassi, ended up in slavery to biblical Egypt. This is in this story of Sodom and Gomorrah is in the book of Genesis. Obviously Exodus takes place one book later. But nobody is, I don't think anybody's ever thought to ask, how did they end up in slavery in the first place? Well, it all comes from the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah, the two cities on the coast. They've basically fled across the river and obviously crossed over. This is just written, whether this is where they actually landed, but it would make sense because it would travel downstream or down that river quite rapidly towards the sea, and they've ended up in there. And this is how and where, or represents the place and how they got in to be. This is why they were slaves, and then Moses was sent down to go and rescue them. Okay, Sodom and Gomorrah. That ties that one. Right, okay. On to the, I don't even know what you call this. Right, nobody in history has ever worked out what this means. I'm pretty sure this is an omen as well for what is coming for the people in charge. Daniel, basically, in the book of Daniel goes into is a slave or whatever in Babylon. King Nebuchadnezzar calls him in, and from what I can remember happens, a finger appears out of nowhere and writes a message on the wall, and the message it writes is this. Which, in fairness, let me just get the spelling right. Up. Sin. And as I said, nobody in history has ever made any sense of this. So what you're seeing is a real revelation. What's incredible about this? What it actually, or the instruction that it gives, I've already fulfilled it. But I'll explain that now. Okay, the first thing is, and rather than cross all these out, if you wish to test this, please feel free. You've got the video, put it on pause, check the Bible passage. All you have to do is put in Mene Mene Tekel, put it into Google, and you'll pull up the actual words and what it means, and what it says, and what Daniel translates it as basically the end of the beginning, the writing on the wall for Babylon. Okay, well, the code actually in this, and the message in this is on map 10, seek Mel in here. Well, first and foremost, when I did the big map I keep speaking about, like I say, it has lots of symbols in it, about 9 I think up to date. That's not even taking into consideration the small bow and the spears, and it's all in one. It looks, the Star of David, the Seal of Solomon, an angel fish. There's so much to it. But in the middle, there's basically a tri-tent map, and it is made up of the KEY, the key. Well, this is the key. Yes, seek message, and then the bow goes off to I am Welsh and what have you. But what this actually is, even though it's right, bear with me. It goes something like this. Well, what these actually are, and there's a line, I believe, down the centre. What this actually is a tent. It's also a tent with the flaps open. This is Bognor Regis. bow G on our regenesis as well, a bow G on our regenesis. There is a bow on the place of what will be the regenesis, because obviously it's the Solomon safe code in the map as well. But you've got one tent flap here, one tent flap here, and one here. When they all fold in, leaving you the tent. And what you have are pegs that are effectively the tent pegs with funny enough, guy ropes on a tent. But this is obviously 8 seat, that's bigger than that. But these fold in. But when you open the tent up and you find it, not only does it reveal the land of his rule, or his rule, which is the land of the Siluri, it also pinpoints every single tribe that amazingly I'd already decoded previously, before I even realised that this tent was on the map, that it was actually a tent, obviously because there's so many different pictures in it. But this is the tent, and on each one you've got like the Cornavai, the Dumnonai, the Atribates, I think it is. They're the Regenesis or whatever they are. Then you've got, I think it's, they're all there across the other side of the water. You've got the Cassi, you've got the Siluris, you've got the Desiangli, you've got the Dumenta, what are they called? You've got Dumente, and this would actually be more like that. And that, I don't know, but this being the ore devices. But really, in these are more over here as well, because this is on land. Don't take this as read, but literally I pinpointed every single tribe, unmapped the 10. So if I unmapped the 10, not only have I unmapped them, and obviously they're there, it says seek Melin here. Well, what is Melin? Melin is Fort Land Melin, and the key to everything. Obviously the place of Melchizedek to find the secret H, and basically it just unlocks a complete puzzle. But and the secret H also relates to Ezekiel's wheels, which I'm not going to do on this one, but I am going to give you the basic rundown on it. But before I do that, just so you know, this is your tribe tent. Like I say, if I take, it's hard to take them off really, because that one out probably would be the best one. If I take that one out, there's your centre pole. This is like I don't know, some sort of folding down bit. You've got your pegs out here, there's pegs there, tall point. There's your pegs. Oh, there's the Iceni as well, they're pegged in. Right, and inside this ark also, not only have you got Melin, where the ark is, so you've got the ark in the tab. Apparently a tabernacle is a tent, is the tent. So there's your tent of Abraham's birth, which gives you your Barabrith bread as well, because you've also got, not only have you got the ark's in the tent, you've got the tabernacle or the table mounting location in the tent, and you've also got, whichever order these are in, the sugared loaf, which is the shoe bread in the tent. So it's almost like there's your table. Oh, let's just do it like that. You've got your table, you've got the arks in the tent. They're all in this side of the tent. But either way, I unmapped the 10. That's already been completed. I've done it, but because unmap is pull the 10 lost tribes of Israel out of the tent. Well, I've already, like I say, I've already done it. Seek Melin here. Well, Melin is in the tent, because Fort Land Melin is here with the ark is. Obviously it's not the best, but Jerusalem is just underneath it as well. So they're all sort of squished into this sort of section here of South Wales. But unmapped 10, seek Melin here. That is the meaning behind Mene Mene Tekel passing. Unmapped 10, seek Melin here. As I say, there you go, just puts the credibility not only behind the map, the tabernacle, and the ark, but it also tells you that the 10 tribes are written in the map, which they are, or they're lined in the map. Okay, it's in the book of, funny enough, it's in the book of Daniel as well, which is an anagram of Adline, among other things. Well, There we are, the add line. We're adding, that's exactly what we did to complete it, is add lines. So in the book of Daniel, or add line, we unmap the 10, seek men in here. Amazing, absolute clever as anything coding. But like I say, nobody in history has ever done this, and I did it in, well, this one I've actually, in fact, this one I did in the last couple of hours, literally, in the, well, probably less than an hour and a quarter, and actually got it within 10 minutes. Tell me how that's possible when, like I say, nobody in history has ever done it. So there we go, just to put credibility behind what I'm doing. Okay. Ezekiel's wheels. You won't believe this because this is code as well. And the Ezekiel's wheel, I'm not going to do that on this one. I'm going to do that in a video of its own. But absolutely insane, and I understand it completely. Again, this has all happened in, well, this one's come within 48 hours. Right. Firstly, I've realised that this code, obviously, we got Eccles I set at on the Melchizedek code, where it was a line set at Eccles. So obviously it tells you there's code within these books, or these chapters, books of the Old Testament, not the New. The New is fake. It's absolute fake. Right. Firstly, let's go with Ezekiel. I'm just going to change that to an S. It's Zion, not Zion, so that's just hidden in code. I seek El. He's looking for his El, or his angel, or I'm not sure. El, I'm sure, stands for angel. How that works, I don't know. Incredibly, as well, before I get to the wheels, right, there was no J until the 1600s. So whatever, there was not a J on the original name of Jeremiah. It was maybe pronounced Jeremiah, but it would be. And this is in answer to I seek El. And this is sorry, that should be there. G, here I am. Well, I wasn't. I say I was the G and the H. The G and the H are both codes now. Obviously, I had the G, and the G code for Jerusalem, and there's a million other things that were coded with G. But it seems now that written in Winchester, Win the Secret H, obviously it takes it up a level and opens a whole lot more code. But this is Ezekiel, I seek El, G, here I am, or here I am G, whichever. But that's what it means, backed up by I seek El, and the word wheels is, guess what? All we got to put in is we can put the secret H in now we got it. All about timing and triggers. So I seek, Ezekiel's wheels is I seek El, he Welsh. Well, I've uncoded the wheel. And it's, well, I'm not going to, like I say, I'm not going to do it on this one. I'm going to keep you hanging, unfortunately, but just to show you as well, bringing this in as well again, the Elohim, things have been altered in the Bible, it's clear. They took the name Yahweh out, he was in there 7,000 times, I think it is, or something, you can Google it, but they openly admit his name was taken out and replaced with God and Lord, but his name's Yahweh, and that is his name, Yahweh. Elohim. Okay, what is the code between Elohim? What is the code of Elohim? It said that Elohim was it. They tried to make out this is God. This is not. They've hidden up. They seem to have jockeyed things in position upward, because this is the name. Well, I'll show you now. So, first thing, it's two statements. First one is Elohim. This ties up with the Ezekiel, Welsh as well. But as you'll see now, what we do is all we're going to do is we're going to bracket added letters as we always do. Hello. So there's only one L. So what we've done, we've got a H and an added H and a L. Now, obviously, the next one is L owes him. And the added letters for this are W-E-S. Well, when we put down the added letters from these two sentences, again, we get Welsh. So the Elohim were the Welsh. This is why what we Wales is it's an anagram of was L, because we fell, we messed up, and this is how the Israels or the Siluris have been divorced. They was L, and now we L sh. So the fallen L's basically kept quiet, and they don't want us right. Well, again, it's just all about not letting us rise again. However, clearly by the Mene Mene Tekel passing, that is the writing on the wall for Babylon. So I would suggest that the time is fast approaching, that we should see the end of the evil that controls this world. Okay, so and then obviously Ezekiel. This one as well. Amazingly, so if I can get rid of that, you can see this is all Welsh again. Everything comes up Welsh, no matter where I go. It comes back to G-Roos, Wales, or me. But it's also hang on, let's start again. So we've got Ezekiel is I seek out. Okay, Ezekiel. His wheels is actually the next one we're going to do is Saw L, which is an anagram of Wales. So I seek L, saw L. ICKL wheels is he, or it's, well, we add in the H is the secret H. He, Welsh. So that's the wheels. And then ICKL, saw L, he Welsh, but the saw L, and then it's G, here am I. Jeremiah. Or here I am. Hang on, here I am. Which also fits, I've just realised, with my map message. And the first opening map message of the KEY, the alphabet code of the opening of the whole map was key, seek, yes. No, key, yes, seek, winds nod, I am Welsh, which is written in Lewisham, where the tip of the bow meets. And that's an anagram of I am Welsh, just to show that ties in with the map as well. Here I am, well, Lewisham, I am Welsh, written in the bow, and also the word, the key, yes, seek. All of this just fits together like a glove, no matter which way you do it. Okay, amazing stuff. I feel tired when all this is, doing all this. I can tell you now, it wears me out something bad. I don't know what it is, but it just drains you. But I was having an hour in whether to do this tonight, but I'm so glad I did now. Right, on with the program. In fact, no, I'm going to leave it there because there's some fantastic codes there. And again, like I say, I'll come back to Ezekiel's wheel because it's immense, absolutely immense, but and ties in with everything else that I've done. So anyway, I hope this one has enlightened you, and without a doubt you can see that there is no coincidence in this, and for me to be able to unravel this stuff the way I do is clearly not of my own doing. I'm a security guard working nights with no, well, not until a year and a half ago I wasn't religious or anything, just casually believed in God, as I've said before. I had a business, I had a family, I was all just living a, what you would deem a normal life. And then all of a sudden, I don't know, a year I am. Year I am. And that really does about sum it up. But obviously there's some amazing things taking place in this world. So get right with the Creator, and also please subscribe to the channel so you get, you might not get notifications, because that seems to be something that's just not happening with people that have been told. So you know as well, again, just in case anybody sees this and can help in any way get this message out there, my email address yahoo.co.uk, not .com, co.uk. If you want to get in touch with me for anything, ask any questions or whatever, please feel free. And again, thanks for watching, and I'll catch up with you very soon.